Hello, it's Stacey Holt from Real Estate Excellence. Thank you for joining me for this video. Today is the 15th of May 2024, and this is an update in relation to Stage 2 tenancy law reform, the mandatory compulsory professional development, and a little bit more. I'm about to hit the road for my second session throughout the state, my Property Management Excellence PME training events. I've had those dates set out for many months, and hopefully you're well and truly aware. So I'll be covering the Stage 2 and what we know, and there's a fair bit that we know now. If you've been following my social media, plus members, I'll explain a little bit more shortly. But you would have seen, plus my running blog that's live on my website, public running blog. But in short, the Parliamentary Committee, which is a usual process, scrutinised the bill, and they were expected to finalise that on the 10th of May, which they did. And when they do that, that process, as I say, it's fairly common as part of our system in relation to law changes and more for many areas. Now, when they do that, they basically spend, and they have, a number of time scrutinising the bill and had public hearings and more, which again I've been blogging on and sharing on my socials everywhere and anywhere to keep you up to date the best I could, particularly members of Real Estate Excellence. Now, the committee finalised and tabled their report for Parliament on Friday afternoon, the 10th of May, just gone. So it was quite an expedient process. And in brief, they've recommended to Parliament to pass the bill exactly as it is, and with no amendments recommended. Now, there are some changes that are going to commence what's called upon assent and others upon proclamation. Now, the assent means very quick, so pretty much when it passes, there'll be a pretty quick commencement date for a couple of matters, particularly around rent increase changes. They're changing again. As you know, July 1, 2023, the rent increase law changed suddenly. Well, it's going to again. There's also some surprise changes. Not a surprise, because not a surprise so much as we saw them in the bill when it was introduced to Parliament on the 21st of March. But surprise in relation to practice, and that will be around not accepting rent in advance up to a certain amount for a new or other tenancy or during a tenancy. So a couple of things are going to happen pretty quick, so commence pretty quick once it finishes the parliamentary process it has to go through. Other changes will be via proclamation. Now, proclamation means at a later date. To give you a very quick example, the Stage 1 tenancy laws way back, but it doesn't seem that long ago, but they went into Parliament June 2021. And I think from memory, don't quote me, but roughly they passed October later also that year, with most of it commencing October 2022. So that's proclamation. So I'll be discussing that in the training, plus the mandatory CPD, which is a totally separate matter. As you know, as property agents, managers, licensees, salespeople, all of us, we know that we're regulated by the Office of Air Trading, not the RTA per se at this moment, and that our main legislation is the Property Occupations Act, PO Act, and of course the Agents Financial Administration Act, known as AFA Act. And so it's just coincidental that CPD and Stage 2 are going in Parliament at the same time, but two different separate legislative practice matters. So that too, with the committee I mentioned earlier in the video, the committee have approved all the CPD proposed changes without any amendments at all. So that'll be part of the Property Management Excellence PME training events. Plus, there's so much going on. And our job's to make your job easier where we can, okay? So hence the training that I've long had planned that I set out shortly end of May and then into June in all the areas of Queensland. So plus the Body Corporate Community Management Act. Now, you and I, if you don't mind me speaking for you listening, we don't specialise in body corporate community management law, but of course as property agents and managers and people in our positions, your positions, we have to know a little bit about other things such as smoke alarm law, which is another legislation, safety switch, pool spas, and also body corporate. Now, body corporate community management commenced, the changes, commenced 1st of May in relation to particularly pets and bylaws that are non-permissive, big changes really, and a new BCCM Form 31 in relation to tenants requesting pets through a body corporate, and then there's timeframes for approval. So I'll be touching on that, plus obviously giving you a lot of information for later sourcing and referencing as you need to in your day-to-day operations and teaching your lessors and or your tenants. I'll also just be doing a quick update on the PO Form 6, and we know that commenced also the 1st of May. So Cairns, Townsville, Mackay, Rockhampton, Bundaberg, Sunshine Coast, Brisbane, Ipswich, Toowoomba, Gold Coast, realestateexcellence.com.au. All the details there on my website. So it's the normal half-day PME event. You'll get a very comprehensive workbook. I'm actually just about to finish it today for Melissa to pretty it up for me, as she does for your electronic workbooks. And you'll be getting my presentation, which is very comprehensive workbook, plus a separate workbook with more comprehensive information in Word, basically, in a PDF document with a lot of hyperlinks and a lot of information for you. So you'll have 2 electronic notes that you'll be sourcing and using during when I'm presenting to you about the Stage 2 CPD, BCCM, PO Form 6, and I'll just give you a quick update about minimum housing standards as well. So a lot going on. I look forward to seeing many of you who've registered. And as I say, the dates, one session as usual per location, 9:30 to 12:30, morning tea. And while I've got you as well, members of Real Estate Excellence, today Melissa will be emailing you out the May member update. And that's got comprehensive information about the BCCM, what I know right now about Stage 2, very meaningful information, and the CPD with useful links, with obviously a lot more to come, members, as well. And so stay tuned. We'll get through this. A number of things will change pretty quickly in the coming possible weeks. Parliament's sit again, I think, the week of the 21st, around that 21st of May. So some things may move pretty quickly. But again, there's only a couple of things there, and other things will come at a later date. So thank you as always for joining me, and particularly I thank Real Estate Excellence members. Your business is really appreciated and greatly valued. Non-members are welcome to the training, and I look forward to seeing many of you very, very soon. realestateexcellence.com.au, training events tab, you'll see all you need to know, or as always, please email us if we can assist in any way. This is Stacey Holt from Real Estate Excellence, and thank you for joining me, and bye for now. See you soon.